At least 3 people, including 1 child, were killed in a Russian drone strike on Ukraine's Sumy. Israel's military spokesperson claims a bunker full of cash and gold belonging to Hezbollah was found under a hospital in Beirut.
The former Albanian President Ilir has been forcefully arrested in Tirana on alleged corruption charges. Storm Oscar reaches Cuba amid massive power outages that left millions without electricity.
At least 3 people, including a child, were killed in a Russian drone strike on the city of Sumy in northeastern Ukraine, officials said on Tuesday. The attack was part of a mass overnight strike on Ukraine and targeted a residential neighborhood and critical infrastructure, according to the regional governor. 45 explosions were recorded in the Sumy region, and the Ukrainian military said air defenses destroyed 42 out of 60 drones launched by Russia over several parts of Ukraine. Russia's defense ministry released footage claiming to show combat work in Ukraine's Donetsk region. Meanwhile, Ukraine also launched a drone attack hitting several areas around Russia, including a biochemical plant and 2 distilleries. Russia's defense ministry said on Tuesday that it shot down several Ukrainian drones over the Bryansk, Belgorod, and Kursk regions.
Directly under El Sahel,
Israel's military spokesperson Daniel Hagari claims Israeli intelligence discovered a bunker belonging to former Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah under a hospital in southern Beirut. He said the bunker, reportedly under the Al-Sahel hospital in Beirut's Tahrir neighborhood, holds millions of dollars in gold and cash. This comes as Israel accuses Iran of sending money by planes to Iran's embassy in Beirut before sending it to Hezbollah.
Right now, Hezbollah's financial network is based on 2 main sources of income: money from the Iranian regime and money from the Lebanese people. Iran's Quds forces transfer money to Hezbollah from Iranian oil sold in Syria. Iran also sends suitcases of cash and gold by planes to the Iranian embassy in Beirut, and then directly it goes to Hezbollah.
Israeli strikes hit several branches of a financial institution linked to Hezbollah in recent days, but Hagari said it won't strike the Al-Sahel hospital. Meanwhile, an Israeli strike near Beirut's Rafik Hariri University Hospital killed at least 4 and injured 32 late on Monday, according to Lebanon's health ministry. It was the first strike on the Lebanese capital in 10 days.
The former Albanian President Ilir has been forcefully arrested in Tirana on alleged corruption charges. Meta has previously been under investigation for allegedly hiding wealth as well as illegal lobbying in the United States. Meta has denied the allegations against him.
Janë 3 akuza, kaq është korrupsion, pastrimi produkteve dhe nuk e di një tjetër.
Meta is the leader of Albania's left-wing Freedom Party and served as the country's president from 2017 until 2022. He has been a vocal opponent of the government of Prime Minister Edi Rama, accusing it of running a kleptocratic regime. The president of the Democratic Party believes Rama orchestrated the arrest and believes he targets his political opponents. The Prime Minister has denied this. Corruption has marred Albanian politics since the fall of communism, hindering the country's democratic, economic, and social development.
Moldovan President Maia Sandu denounced vote buying in the constitutional referendum on the country's EU accession, which the pro-Europe side won by a narrow margin, 50.4% versus 49.6%. Sandu claims that 130,000 people have been paid to vote no by criminal entities, with voters instructed on how to cast their ballots.
And then there are people who just sold their votes And in any democracy, it's normal to have people who have different views. What's not normal is to have a situation where criminal groups are bribing voters. I'm blaming the criminal groups who are using the dirty money to buy the Moldovan votes.
Sandu did not mention Russia or any other foreign actor. She only envisaged dirty interference trying to block Moldova's path towards EU membership. But despite her claims, the presidency is not showing any evidence of electoral corruption. Moldova's main opposition considers instead that it was Sandu's lack of credibility that dragged down the result of the EU referendum. The International Election Observation Mission did not report any evidence of vote theft and corruption at the polling station. But its report underlines various forms of manipulative interferences to destabilise the country, illicit financing of political actors, disinformation campaigns and cyber attacks.
There have also been multifold statements from simple citizens who say, well, quick money for poor people, that is something that I take. So that is not something that is hearsay only, but is very concrete.
The European Commission said it had witnessed unprecedented interference by Russia in Moldova, and that Moscow aimed to destabilise the country.
Heavy rainfall swept across Cuba as tropical storm Oscar made landfall. It comes as the country's capital has been largely paralyzed by massive blackouts, leaving 10 million people without electricity.
Yo ahora por lo menos no me arriesgaría a comprar nada porque todo está echado a perder. No hay tarjeta, no hay banco, no hay nada. El país está parado completo.
The power outage caused unrest for many. Cuba is in the middle of an economic crisis, and many already suffer from food, water, medicine, and fuel shortages. As a result, the prolonged blackouts led to a handful of small protests.
Nosotros queremos ratificar que nunca la revolución va a tolerar este tipo de conducta y que todos serán procesados como corresponde con el rigor que contemplan las leyes revolucionarias.
The Cuban government has a low tolerance for civil disobedience, and President Miguel Díaz-Canel warned protesters that they would not allow any vandalism. The French Transport Minister François Durovray vowed to make roads safer for everyone after meeting with cycling associations. It follows the death of 27-year-old cyclist Paul Vary, who was allegedly deliberately hit by an SUV last week.
La mort de Paul, qui a été tué par un automobiliste à Paris, elle a résonné, elle a suscité cette émotion parce que, effectivement, ce type de meurtre, c'est exceptionnel. Par contre, les violences que vivent aujourd'hui les cyclistes sur les routes, ça, tous les cyclistes l'ont déjà vécu. Que ça soit des menaces, des mises sous pression, des mises en danger, des collisions volontaires, ça, chaque cycliste a une histoire à raconter sur le sujet.
The tragedy has reignited national debates on road safety and cyclist protection as France sees an increasing number of cyclists in its urban centers. Tributes in several cities were paid to the young cyclist who was known to be a dedicated advocate for urban cycling.
The idea of outsourcing the detention of migrants outside the European Union is gaining ground in the political debate. The principle of these return centres, supported by around 10 member states, was raised last week at the European Summit. The President of the European Commission presented the project as one of the innovative ways of dealing with migration issues. Ursula von der Leyen admits, however, that she does not have all the answers.
The media you're working for. The discussion around the return hubs is concerning another group, those who have no right to stay in the European Union. In this context, the return hubs have been discussed. There are open questions for how long can people be there, what are you doing, for example, if a return is not possible. So, as I said, it's not trivial, but this is a topic that is being discussed.
The proposal is causing controversy amongst the member states, with Spain making no secret of its opposition. Some analysts believe that if the political will is there to create these centres, the legal implementation will pose a number of problems.
It's empty because what it will end up being is detention centers. Because of legal, practical and technical barriers, people cannot be sent, for the good reasons, back to countries of origin or transit, as it would entail profound human rights violations and also contrary to constitutional guarantees that everybody must have access to justice and to have their case individually assessed.
Human rights NGOs are sounding the alarm. They believe that the consequences will be painful for asylum seekers.
Every time we've seen this kind of scheme in practice, we've seen prolonged arbitrary detention. We've seen people separated from their families. We've seen people in an unbearable legal limbo, children and other groups in vulnerable situations falling between the cracks. We've seen people at risk of being sent back to danger and to persecution. And we've seen people being denied the right to asylum with all of the legal safeguards that is required at the EU.
The President of the Commission says she wants to learn the lessons from the agreement signed in 2023 between Italy and Albania. The agreement provides for adult men intercepted by the Italian Coast Guard to be sent to the Balkan country. But as soon as it was implemented last week, the protocol was already in trouble. The Italian courts decided at the weekend to invalidate the transfer of the first 12 migrants.